Sometimes, it's not just about gazing at each other. That's immature love. They're just looking in the eyes and gaga goo goo. No. You need somebody that can look out at the same vision, at the same dream, and see that thing moving in the same direction and move with you. It is not the turning in to look and say, it's not about me and it's not about you. It's about what he wants to use us to do. I want you to think of yourself when you are yoked together. Be not unequally yoked together. That word yoking there dealt with oxen. Oxen don't look at each other. They are under the same yoke. They are yoked together in common purpose. Common purpose, common vision. So you yoke a big ox with a small ox so that the big ox teaches the small ox. And whenever the big ox bends down to feed, the small ox has to bend down to feed. And whenever the big ox picks up to start moving again, he has to move or else the yoke will break his neck. God will yoke you. So stop trying to be goo-goo-eyed. It's not about me and it's about you. That's the problem with people. When they turn into themselves, the devil gets them to attacking each other instead of focus on the common thing. What does God want to do in and through our lives so that we don't mess up his witness in the earth? You pull together this yoke. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I want you to get together and come into this yoke with some other people that are pulling with this. And so that you begin to go. You begin to go and you move in a same direction because God's working on something. I'm just telling you, he's trying to get you to your next chapter. And before he can get you to the next chapter, you got to get bored with the chapter that you're in. You got to be ready to get out of this nightmare. You got to be I'm just telling you, God will let some stuff jack up on you and mess up on you so that you go to something better. Because why on earth would you even have a desire to leave where you are unless you can see something that is better where you're going? And so my admonition to you is don't close the book when God is simply just trying to turn the page to get you to your next chapter. Don't think that God is finished with you. Wouldn't it be absurd and absolutely insane for somebody to, don't let people judge you by one chapter in your life. These were the early years. Yeah, you did something stupid and naive and you messed up relationships and messed up money and you smoked stuff that made you think funny. Those are the early years. Wouldn't it be foolish, though, for you to judge a person and sum up their whole potential based on one chapter? Finish reading. There's some other things. They're going to grow. They learn some lessons. They progress through that. They got over this thing. They learn about messing up relationships and messing up money and putting harmful substances in their body down the road. Don't judge me by where I was back in chapter 3. I'm in chapter 12 now. Don't let anybody judge you based on where you were and the stupid, immature things that you did in the earlier chapters of your life. God's just turning the page. He's already turned the page. Why are you letting somebody go back into what God has already called finished? You're asking God to do again what he has already called finished from the beginning. He already brought you out of that. He already delivered you from that clown that was stalking you. I'm just telling you, God is a marvelous God. I'm excited about the next chapter where God is taking you, everything that he's got set up for you. This is a new day. There's a book. God is writing an absolute dynamic epic in your life. He really is. He's writing an epic in your life. So don't judge it by, it's not just a 3-chapter book. God is writing in living color. He is writing with very full descriptive words. God is doing some things. He's developing a theme. God has something. Your life is a message that God is going to send to another generation. And I'm just telling you, he's given you problems so that you will have an antagonist in your life and you're the protagonist and he's the helper. There's got to be something, problems that comes in there, and there's got to be some supernatural situation where God writes in himself in the script that I got down to nothing. I didn't know where I was going to do. I was in this position. Nobody would help me, and all of a sudden, I'm just telling you, there's some great things ahead in your next chapter. Don't get bored at where you are. This is an exciting journey. When they were telling Jesus was wearing life like a loose garment, and he comes there, and you see somebody else who is fulfilled, who realizes who they are, who their daddy is, what they're called to do, and he's free and willing to live life freely. He didn't have a wife. He didn't have any children. Jesus said, I'm ready to go for broke. I'm ready to take a risk. He says, boys, y'all finished? You bored yet with that old fish over there? He says, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. I'm getting ready to do something, he was saying, that's going to change the world. I'm getting ready to do something that's going to change your life. And he was letting them know that was something that was dull and boring and insipid in their lives. And I believe that Jesus was speaking with passion. He was speaking with life, telling them, listen, get ready because the next chapter of your life is getting ready to be exciting. I'm writing a mystery. They're going to wonder who done it, what happened to her, what happened to him. They're not even going to understand. You'll be able to testify and say, look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He saved my soul. He stepped in. I'm just telling you, look at what the Lord